Are BlazBlue and Guilty Gear the same game? This may have been a joke, but I'm going to tell you some history. Guilty Gear was made by Daisuke Ishiwatari. He wanted fighting games to be more metal, and he sure did do that. His team, which was basically Proto-Arc System Works, needed a publisher, and that publisher was Sammy. Don't know who Sammy is? Yeah, makes sense. Sammy was a small-time publisher that eventually came under acquisition by Sega. And when that happened, that meant that all the rights to everything Guilty Gear turned over to Sega. Characters, stages, stories, conflicts, Sega owned them all. You might remember Guilty Gear 2 Overture, the weird MOBA that was created? Yeah, that was a product of those times. Anyway, that meant that Daisuke and Arc System Works had no control over the Guilty Gear franchise anymore, but they wanted a metal fighting game. They wanted a fighting game with dumb anime bullshit and squealing guitars. Problem is, Daisuke didn't feel super great about making a new IP, because he really wanted to work on Guilty Gear. Enter Toshimichi Mori, Daisuke's friend. He worked as an artist and character designer, but his real want was to make an RPG. He had all these ideas for huge worlds and tons of characters and societies and civilizations, and since Arc System Works was expanding from arcade games at the time, he figured it would be a great time to pitch his RPG. And Arc System Works was like, that's great, but make it a fighting game. And thus BlazBlue was born. Most of the things that make BlazBlue come out of this original RPG design document. Like, Mori originally wanted every character to have a unique mechanic, a lot like Final Fantasy VI, and that eventually became BlazBlue's drive system. Ever wonder why BlazBlue has like 40-hour story modes? Well, they were designed to be RPG plotlines. So Mori took the lead on design, and Daisuke Ishiwatari helped him. Daisuke knew what the Guilty Gear fanbase wanted out of an Arc-style fighting game, and Mori just had idea after idea after idea after idea. And BlazBlue launched around the time that Street Fighter IV launched, which was a big revival of fighting games at the time. And while we may just know the fighting game, it's a multimedia franchise. Like, there are manga, there are like pachinko machines, there are light novels, there are even horrible mobile games, which basically killed the franchise. Anyway, ArcSys eventually developed this new Red implementation of the Unreal Engine, and they wanted to put a fighting game in it, and they were thinking about putting BlazBlue in it, but BlazBlue already had all these HD sprites, and they really wanted to get as much mileage out of them as possible. They could have made a new game, but that probably wouldn't go over well, especially with they were showcasing new technology, and Sega wasn't doing anything with the Guilty Gear IP at the time, so they managed to buy it back. And thus we got Guilty Gear XR. And in the irony of ironies, Toshimichi Mori has left Arc System Works, after again a bunch of mobile games kind of killed BlazBlue. And while he said he would love to work on more BlazBlue content, he doesn't hold the IP. Arc System Works does. Funny how things come full circle. If you want an extended version of this story, check out the new video on Thorgy's Arcade, which goes into further detail.